welcome to today's video blog. Today's video blog is going to be the wrap up for my book wrap up for let's say March and April, which was not very good reading couple of months for me. I only finished one book, I think. The rest were DNFs. So there were quite a few DNFs, but only one that had, I think, well, two that had like specific reasons. Like the other ones, I guess, like just didn't grab me. But so I'll go through like a few. The first that I DNF'd was an actual paper copy of Catherine Kincaid's Beloved Bondage. Was set in Rome, and this girl, she buys this gladiator, or this guy, as her slave so that he doesn't become a gladiator and die in the arena. It's during the time of Caligula, so there was a lot of like, not that outside of his time was much better, but he was very sadistic and depraved, and so this woman buys this slave, and her husband is very outspoken against Caligula, and so Caligula wants to assassinate her husband, and instead the husband, who's considerably older than she is, ends up killing himself to save her and to keep Caligula's men from imprisoning him and killing him. So then she's then left alone with this, with her to run the household herself, and with this slave who's actually a British before Britain was a place, before Britain was like as you know it. He was like a soldier then, and like and then they end up falling in love, and it's very passionate, very sexy, and then it sort of took a weird turn where this old friend of the girls, the heroines, Mira is the heroine's name, and I think the guy Luke, the hero's name is Lucas, but her old friend Luke comes, and he brings her news of this carpenter's son who is changing the world, and who he's decided to follow, and you know that they're talking about Jesus, and it took this weird sort of religious turn where I don't know, it just made me feel odd. And I think if I'd known it was I'm Catholic, and you know, I have, you know, faith and belief in God and all that stuff. So, and I've always said I'm very intrigued by the idea of Christian erotica, and I don't think that they have to be mutually exclusive at all. I think you can most definitely combine the two. I didn't understand if that's what this was trying to be. So I just, like, I think I got like halfway into it, and I don't know, it didn't work for me, because it just sort of seemed to come out of the blue. And I think if they had like started with that, and you knew that that's what was sort of going on from the beginning, and that was sort of weaved in seamlessly, but no, like the way it was just jarring. And I was like, wait, what? Like, they're like talking about this Jesus character now, and she's all like, oh, I'm gonna give up everything and follow this man, and it was just weird. So I DNF'd that one. Um, get into my Kindle and try and bring up. So there was a few duds on my Kindle, and one that I really, really did not see if I like. There was right now I'm reading on my Kindle Her Big Sky Cowboy by Alyssa Allen. Let me show you. Oh, hang on. Just want to see the cover. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to see the cover. To show you the cover. See if I can cover. There we are. So that's the cover. And so that's what I'm reading now, and I'm liking it so far. It's this girl who's a speech therapist, and the guy is a cowboy. Is the child that she's treating? He's her father. He's his father, and so they're still like in the early stages yet, but there's definite like romantic interest there. But he's sort of trying to keep a wall there because his ex-wife was not a nice person, and so he has issues. Oh, and I meant to get also. I want to tell you about this one that the lawyer one really pissed me off. I can see. Nope, not that one. I think it was this one. Come on. Yes. Legal Action by Kimball Lee. This one brought out the rage, and I think I only got 38% into it, so like not halfway in. And the reason was, here was this woman who was a lawyer, and she used to like, I think to get through college, she like posed naked and or provocatively in a magazine, and so she got this reputation. And she was trying to put that past behind her, and yet there's all these moments where she talks about how she uses that past and notoriety, and she uses that sexuality to distract her opponents in the courtroom. And I was just like, no, that's just no. But the part that really pissed me off was the hero, who I guess like knew her from back then, and wanted her, but I think she turned him down because I think she was with somebody else at the time, but because the provocative photos I think was with her boyfriend at the time. But the hero wanted her, so they went their separate ways. And so he comes back into her life, and he still wants her. Um, and she, feels the sexual chemistry between them. And so he insists that they need to spend time together, and they need to go somewhere private on um, on his yacht, because of course he has a yacht, and so that they can make love. They need to go somewhere private and be alone so that they can make love, because he has to have her. Okay. Oh, and she shouldn't worry about birth control because he went to the pharmacy and got her prescription refilled for her. And that's when I was like, and I'm out. Because no, no, you do not ever. That is such an invasion of privacy. Unless I tell you, and like, I think there's a thing where like you can get somebody to pick up your medication for you if you like add them to your record, and you give the authorization for them to do this or whatever. And apparently, like, he was just so rich and powerful that they just did this and refilled her birth control prescription because he said so. That I have so many books to read. Don't give me a reason not to read your book, because I'm going into it knowing that I have so many books to read. So if you give me a reason, I will drop your book. That was so not okay that I don't know. I have this thing about like, okay, unless you're like in a case of like BDSM kind of relationship where you've set these parameters and you have agreed to, you know, do this or live this lifestyle where the guy controls everything, and you're okay with that, and that's the something that you both agreed on, that's one thing. No, he went and refilled her birth control prescription without her permission, just so she wouldn't worry about getting pregnant because he wanted to fuck her. Nope, I'm out. Nope, 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 nope. One that I did read and did enjoy very, very much was The Wedding Trap by Adrian Bell. And let me show you the cover for that. God damn it. Cover. There we go. The Wedding Trap by Adrian Bell. I really enjoyed this book. I liked it very, very much. She, the heroine invents a boyfriend for her best friend's wedding, and she has to come up with somebody. So she's either going to tell them that the boyfriend died, or she has to find somebody. So she ends up finding this guy trying to break into her ex's car. Her ex is a sleaze bucket, and so she blackmails him into saying that if he doesn't pretend to be her boyfriend, her date for this wedding, then she's going to turn him into the cops. Now, he agrees, but not for the reasons that she thinks, not because of her blackmail, because he is actually a Navy SEAL detective guy investigating her best friend's father. Her best friend, who is the bride to the wedding that she's going to. Her father is some kind of criminal. And it's just this, I loved this story. It was so good. It was sexy. It was action packed. I would definitely recommend it. So, The Wedding Trap by Adrian Bell. Definitely recommend that one. So that was the only one, I think, that um, in March and April that I actually read and finished. So it was kind of a dud of a couple of months. And the one I'm reading right now, which I'm liking so far, is Virginia Farmer's A Blast to the Past. And it's a time travel novel where, in this case, the guy is the one who goes back in time to, of course, Scotland. He's a military guy who is on a mission, and he's fighting some battle, and he ends up getting blown back to the time of William Wallace in Scotland. So let me just read you the blurby for that. So yeah, this is Virginia Farmer's A Blast to the Past, and I'm about a third into it. I'm almost at the halfway point, but not quite yet. The bomb went off, and U.S. Navy explosives technician Brian Skelly figured he'd been blown to Kingdom Come. Instead, he'd been blown to 14th century Scotland and into the arms of the most beautiful woman ever. But was she worth getting involved, trying to stop the historic cruelty of the English? Could he give up his career and stay in another time? Was it wrong to introduce these people to explosives? Kyra Mackenzie hadn't time for marriage. She'd been too busy protecting herself and her people at Castle Kilbane. But when the dangerous stranger dropped into her life, he ignited something inside of her. Brian was the type of warrior she'd never seen, and his strength was unquestioned. But could she trust him with the secrets of her clan and her heart? One thing was sure, the whole adventure would end with a bang. So that is Virginia Farmer's A Blast to the Past, and that's what I'm reading right now. And that's going to be it for this week's video blog. Hopefully May will be a better month, because March and April were kind of duds. So follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!